Okay, up next is Mezco Ghost Rider. This one I am super excited about. I wanted this one from a while ago, but it was sold out, and then one day on Instagram, Toys in the Box posted that they had a few of these, and I'm like, that's mine. Look at these pictures. This character is just photographed so well, and I couldn't wait to get a hold of him. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I care nothing for boxes, except somehow I really love the Mezco boxes, and this one is no different. I'm going to keep this one. Everything else is going in the trash. And if you haven't been watching my videos, you should subscribe. I'll tell you why though. With my videos, you'll see close-ups of the details, you'll see the figure. It'll be like the next best thing to actually holding the figure, because you'll see every little detail or lack of detail. In this case, there's nothing but detail. I mean, this guy, this character, he is amazing. If you have the money for this figure and you're lucky enough to get a hold of him, there's no reason why you shouldn't have it, even if you're not a fan of Mezco. But look at this motorcycle. I mean, I'm going to show you close-ups of it so you can see every line, every circle, every piece of detail, the paint. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it except that it is just so pretty to look at. It's got some weight to it. I really enjoy holding it, playing with it, but I tell you, man, this is not a toy. This is an adult collectible, so you guys already know that. You don't need me to tell you, but it is delicate. Some parts are delicate, especially little parts like the stand and the clutch and the handlebars. You have to be super careful with that. The matte paint is perfect for photography. It doesn't reflect light, so you can take pictures of this in all angles and it's not going to reflect the light back to you. So it really works out for photography. If you're that kind of collector that's going to take pictures of this, which you should, even with your phone, it's going to work out in your favor. The wheels turn just fine, just like a motorcycle you would buy your 5-year-old to play with and zoom, zoom, zoom all over the carpet, but you don't want to do that, because I guarantee if you did do that, you would be upset because something is going to break off. Then it's got a button right here and then on the other side of the motorcycle, so that when you press on that button and you have the battery in there and you turn it on, it makes these really cool noises like you're going 200 miles an hour in hell. You have to stick around and watch the whole video, and I know this video is probably twice as long as my other videos, but it's worth it because there's so much to say about this character, so many angles to show you, so many lines of detail and crevices and circles, and I mean, look at it for yourself. You don't need me to explain what you can see for yourself. This little dents and stuff in the plastic that look like this bike has been through some stuff, because it has, right? He's been in hell with it, and yeah, I really dig this, and it was totally worth the price, which again wasn't cheap. The exhaust, it also lights up when you press on those buttons too, so that's actually really cool. You know, the first thing I did with this thing is try and move the clutch as if it was a real motorcycle, and it may look like one, but it's not, right? So you can't move the clutch. Don't even try, you will break it off. The second thing I looked for was the red caliper brakes that, you know, performance motorcycles or cars have, and then I thought to myself, alright, that's kind of stupid. Why would a motorcycle that goes to hell have performance brakes on, right? That's just dumb. It doesn't have them, obviously, but you don't need them. Look at the detail on the seat. I mean, look at those little tiny circles or balls, and I mean, I don't even know how to explain it, but it just feels and looks nice. This is a piece of art, like seriously. This belongs in some kind of art museum because it is just that nice. And it has sound and it has lights, so it's better than some of those art pieces you see in museums as far as I'm concerned. You don't need these two fiery pieces to hold up the motorcycle, but if you did use them, it would stand up a little bit more upright. If you only are using the motorcycle stand, it's obviously going to lean a little bit towards that side, which is a good look as well. So you have some options here. When I display this though, I'm going to be using these fiery effects. I think it'll stand up nicer and it looks cool, I think. What do you think? Now comes the head articulation. This is important now. The bike is amazing. How is the figure? Well, you can see how he looks. I mean, shit, dude. He looks nice. Look at the detail on his head. You can basically turn his head all the way around. I mean, he's a demon, so in this case, it might work out. Up, down, he's got some movement. Left and right is probably better. But look at the skull. I mean, his head lights up too, by the way. I'll show you that later on. So be sure to stick to the end of the video. But I normally don't really love these kinds of effects, these kind of light up effects like this, but I think this looks really nice. I really like this. And I know, like I said, that Mezco, some people love it, some people hate it, and there's nothing really in between, it seems, but I love it. I don't care. I love the realism behind the Mezco vision on their figures. I also like comic book visions, you know. I like how comic book figures look, but there's something special to me about figures that look so realistic. I mean, that is a freaking zipper, a zipper that actually works. When's the last time you saw a zipper that works on an action figure? I mean, I'm a newbie, so I haven't seen it, but you guys have been watching videos for a long time and been collecting, I'm sure, most of you. So you tell me, what other figure has a zipper like that? The detail, I mean, this can be a leather jacket. I mean, it probably is leather. It's a soft good. It looks really nice. His arms, they can go up that high. That's pretty decent. Maybe he could have gone a little higher if not for the jacket, but the jacket has a little bit of give. So I don't think that the jacket is, you know, messing up the articulation here. So that's pretty good. I can dig this kind of articulation. He's got double jointed elbows. I mean, that's pretty good too. Maybe he could have done it a little bit more, but this is my expensive figure and I'm not gonna break it on the first day. So how do his legs articulate? I mean, he's got some skinny leather jeans here. They probably shouldn't articulate as good as they do here, but you can see how far he can do the splits as far as I feel comfortable putting him without actually breaking something. But that's pretty impressive, I think. He's got double jointed knees, so he's got a pretty good bend, especially considering, like I said, he's got leather jeans on. But how much does his waist move side to side? That's pretty good. He can get it that far, and that's far enough for me. The other way, it's not the most swivel you've seen in a figure, but I think that's pretty good, especially considering he's got soft goods on. What do you guys think? Bending over backwards is quite okay, I suppose. It's not the best, but he can't look up that much either, so you're kind of limited there. Going forward, that's how far I want to get him without, you know, breaking something, but he needs a little assistance. That's enough for me. So the hands, how many hands does he have? He has 8 interchangeable hands, so 4 pairs. He's got some fist hands, a pair of holding hands, and 2 pairs of posing hands. So that's enough, I think, because he's got some accessories, but he holds on to the handlebars as well for the bike, which I have to warn you is super fragile again, so be really careful when you have him do that. These are his holding hands right there. You can kind of picture him doing that to the handlebar, right? Looking like a badass. So he's got 2 hands that he can hold on to the weapons and the handlebar. You can have him holding onto the handlebars without a weapon, maybe 1 handlebar and another weapon, or maybe even 2 weapons and no handlebar. I mean, the bike can drive itself, I think, right? I'm not sure. You Ghost Rider fans out there, can you let me know? These are his posing hands, so I can totally picture exactly the way I'm showing it to you, with a ton of fire behind him with his hands like that, like bring it on, you know, to whoever he's fighting. His wrists, they basically swivel all the way around. They go up, down, and around. You can do a lot with them. You wouldn't go too far because you don't want to risk breaking anything, but it goes far to the side, left, right, up, down, as much as you want it to do. His Hellfire chain here isn't very posable, but it does the job. It looks really good. He's got like this fire coming out of it. You can do a lot with him for photography. Of course, it would be better if it was a little bit more posable. It just kind of stands there, and sometimes I feel like his hand is kind of struggling to hold it up, or his whole arm, in fact. But it doesn't hold it enough, I think. It's just when you want to do some intricate kind of poses, you might need something else to kind of hold that up, and like an extra wire that you'll have to Photoshop later because it needs that support from that wire. This chain, it's the same thing. It's posable, but it's kind of heavy for what it is, so you can't just put the chain up in the air and doing all these crazy things. You can't do that, not unless it has some kind of support. The way he holds on to it, like right there, honestly I didn't put it very well, but he does have a firm grip on the accessory. Okay, so let's see here. What do I rate him? Okay, you have to go by these ratings. Like, you can't rate this character the same way you would rate a Marvel Legends. I mean, they're not even in the same league, not even in the same stadium, nothing. There's nothing similar to them because I did another Ghost Rider video. I'll put a link up there. But this figure is $175. What do I rate his looks, his aesthetics? To me, this is easily, I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10, but it's a 9 out of 10. It's the highest. It's beautiful. It's a piece of art. Maybe not that thing, because I don't know what the hell that is, but this aesthetics, 9 out of 10. The what is it? The articulation, I'll give it a 7 because he's not Spider-Man. He articulates well enough, but he's not super articulate. And for accessories, well, I have to give him a 9, not a 10, because, you know, you are paying $175. You're getting the motorcycle, so it's kind of like 2 characters, but it's not 2 characters. It's still the Ghost Rider and his accessory. So it's the bike and him. I give the accessories a solid 9 out of 10. So when you take off his head, he's got this little black thing in there that the batteries go into. You can pop off the cover, put the accessory, the batteries that are included. You put it back in, and there's a little turn off on little switch at the bottom of this. So then his head lights up. Same thing for the motorcycle. There is a spot there for that. Look at that. That looks really cool, right? I mean, it lights up. It's more noticeable when the lights are off, but you can still see it when the lights are on. I like this quite a bit, actually. It sucks that you have to keep taking it off to turn it on and off, but I mean, where else would the on and off button be, right? So you have to have a little screwdriver to kind of open this. You pop it open, you put the batteries in there. There's an on-off switch right there, similar to what's on the head, and then you get this. Tell me what you think. If you guys could subscribe, that would mean so much to me. Obviously, these videos take a little bit more than just 10 minutes. It took me a few hours, in fact, but it's totally worth it. I love these figures, and I hope you do too. You probably do since you're watching this video, but yes, please subscribe. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends and a NECA Shredder.